Let's try this again. Alright, as you can see, I have gotten more done with the trailer pod project. I've actually got what I would now call my floor, which are these things right here. It goes out there to the front and comes all the way back to the same thing down through here. These here are 48 inches tall, which should put that somewhere in the vicinity about here on me, which is good because now this half here, whoop, let me get out of the fence. This much here going out is what's going to extend out and go up further for the rest of this part of me. That's what I'm hoping for. So, yeah, I went ahead and got myself a little jig. I stick my, I'll show you. I take my 2x2s, I set them in here like so, and of course that ain't gonna hold in there now for some reason. Did on every other one of them, but didn't want to do it on that one. I'll bend down here and I'll pick this thing back up. Don't put your finger in between there. So anyway, the whole concept is now is this. These are my 2x4s or 2x2s that are going down into the bed and up here for the next layer of the roof. And what this does is it gives you different angles to pre-drill your holes so they come in at an angle with a drill bit set to depth so you don't go down too far, and that way I can zip right in there and make this sturdy like this. Okay, so that's what I've been doing with all the ones you see standing up and wherever I needed them around the outside so that it keeps anything from moving. That gives you an idea of what that's all about. And they clamp in there pretty tight, and it puts a nice little hole here, and there's also a spot to set your screw into, so it allows your screw to set into it nicely. And that little jig right there is called a portable pocket hole jig kit. It came with everything. You can actually mount this to your workbench, to your sidewall, set whatever you want in there. They have different measurements there for 1 1/4, 1/2, half, 3/4, and 1 inch thick wood. It also has here, so you want them all the same, you can actually slide this over and make that happen also. Allows you to separate them out. I'm just using this one here for one because that's all I can really get into a 2x2 is one. Now if I had a 2x4 or something bigger, I could space them out and get them the same thing on both sides so they're all going in the same way. And I do that to the top and bottom so it ties everything together. So back to my project here. This is Going to be my next piece of wood I cut. Gotta go ahead and measure it out to 48 inches. And I'll start down there with laying my beams across. And I started from the top, working my way down at 16 inches on center for these side posts. The front ones, if you notice, are a little bit closer. Why? Because they're at 1 foot. And yes, I did put 2 where I did there because I may put a window there. I haven't made up my mind yet. This is kind of a little bit as I go. And now I need my pencil and my straight edge. Grabbing my Hart battery operated skill saw. Trimming off the end. That's when I bring this out to here to my little press. Like so. That's how that goes in. Very simple. And then I just take my drill, like so. And it creates a nice little pocket in there to have your screw started at. Anybody that works with enough wood knows that starting them screws at an angle are an absolute pain in the behind. And there's 1 and 2. And now I'll go ahead and I know I got to get 6 more of these things done. I got to get them marked out across the front. So I'm going to go do that real quick, and I'll be right back. Slept this last night. Here. 6 post cut and drill. And mind you, I've already got one right there. I'm recording, so you're in the next one, so I will be doing that right now for you.
I apologize.
That one's got a big old wall fork in it. I don't want to use that. It's stuck down there. I will use this one. Like so. Tape measure left down there. 48 inches. Which you would think being 8 foot would be half. Cut it in half. You get 2. Now, you cut one, then you measure back from the other side, and you got about a 1/4 inch to 3/8 of an inch. Yeah, that's always fun. 48. Square. Yeah, still some. Band-Aid ain't sticking out, so I'm just gonna leave it. Toss it in the bucket. Save it for later. 48 inches. my posts cut out. So now I'm going to go ahead and set them in the jig, do them on my holes. Slide you over to here. Getting tighter and tighter. Sometimes I think the bores are just a little bit different on each side. Alright, now you've seen I got all my holes drilled. I got my board sitting over here. Oop, let me angle you down just a little bit. There you go. Got all my boards sitting here. So now I go back over there to those rungs and start setting my screws in. And what I'm using here is my little Hercules with a star bit. And with that is a 2.5 inch long screw that fits in to that hex. And I just stick it in the hole. So it looks like that. And there's one 2x4 or 2x2. Should say. 2x2. And I'm going to grab my screws and bring them over here so I can just cut one at a time. And that's how I built the wall. Got that? Yeah, I did too. So anyway, now once I get this done, I've got one long one and one about 48 and some change. 48 and 3/4 to be exact. That's left. So I don't have enough to go all the way around or even finish this wall. Because over here somewhere is going to be an air conditioner. Somewhere on this side is going to be a door that me and my wife are going to be able to get in and out of here, which means I got to cut all that off and then redo it with other screws as I go down. So yeah, and that's where that pocket hole jig comes in handy, because now I can go ahead and set that up and actually drill in there and tag everything down into the main subfloor so that the trailer doesn't do this as we go down the road in the back. So yeah, that's the sum of what I've got going on today, guys. Wish I could do more, but as you can see, I've used up all the lumber I got to do anything. I do have windows coming for it. I'm going to have one on that side, one on this side for a good cross draft. I do have solar coming for it. The solar panels are going to be capable of being just hooked into the side of the camper and set on the outside at the angle I want for the sun. I do also have one 100 watt amp hour battery coming. Hasn't shipped yet, so it ain't supposed to be here until sometime, I think it was either Tuesday to Thursday on the scheduling is what they've got it on the books for. So it's going to be a little while before we even have to worry about all that, because we still got to get this all built up. And like I said, I'll try and get up here. I'll show you something. And as you can see, right about right. And I want to be able to stand up in this thing, so we still got to come up a lot further. With that being said, I'm going to slide this forward so I can get away from my light here, because our ceiling here is probably going to be right at our top point of everything, unless I can drop this down to the ground, which would then help. So yes, once I get to this done, I'll drop this floor jacks out from underneath here, floor jack stands, excuse me. Got 4 of them. And I'll be going ahead and dropping this down to the ground so I can finish all this up. And this is what goes into my trailer. Now when we're doing your RC events, you'll see us pull in with this, and all RCs that we're going to be bringing will be inside of this, which is awesome. That's what I'm trying to do. I got a little generator that I'll be putting in the back of the pickup and having that in case we need something, the batteries charge a little quicker or something. But other than that, this is what I've got going on. And it's a sturdy little thing right now. I love it. I really do. I love every minute of this. This is going to be awesome. So, thank you for stopping by. And I'm going to let you guys get out of here, because I've already got 3 of these as of right now queued up. Well, they ain't queued up. They got to be produced through my program to bring you the best content I can for the heat temperatures that we're dealing with right now. And when I mean heat, yeah, we're supposed to get to like 100 today or close to it. And with a heat index, that's going to put it at like at a 101, 105, something like that. It's crazy warm. So I stay underneath the carport for right now. We're going to deal with this way. I got a fan over there. Hopefully that ain't too loud on you guys. With this stuff working, hopefully that's all good. We're at over a half hour now, so I'm going to let you all go, and we'll catch you next time.